What's up, guys? This is Chowdrester coming at you with the Pokemon Showdown gameplay. It's off the UU tier. This is my first video, and so obviously I'm a noob. The opponent I'm playing is kind of a noob, so we're bound to make mistakes. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. So yeah, let's hop into it. I'm gonna lead with my Amoonguss versus his Aggron. And he's gonna go for the Stealth Rock just to set up, which is actually very potent against my team because it's 4 times effective on Scyther. I do have the defog on Latias, but yeah, it's still very potent, and you'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna lead with my Amoonguss and go for the Spore right off the bat, put him to sleep, and just go to town on him with my Giga Drain. At which point he switches out into his Sigilif, um, which it has a flame orb, but I'm not too worried at this point. As you'll see, I'll switch into my Absol and make quick work of it. This Absol is running an always crit set with a scope lens. Um, so the Night Slash, obviously with stab plus critical hit, it's an OHKO. So after that, he's gonna switch back into his Aggron. At which point I make kind of a fatal mistake here. I'm actually going to go for the Sucker Punch for whatever reason. Obviously it's not going to land because he's not going to be doing an attacking move. But yeah, it happens when you're a noob. And then I'm just going to go for the Night Slash, get the critical hit, but he manages to get away with 6%. He switches me out into my Scyther with his Dragon Tail. Which kind of screws my Scyther over, like I said, with the Stealth Rocks. I get the U-turn, but he survives with 1% health. I mean, come on. But yeah, I'm gonna go into my Tornadus off of the U-turn and just finish it off with a knockoff. But it kind of puts my Scyther and my Tornadus Therian in bad shape. Here he's actually going to go into his Dugtrio, and I switch out without realizing that he has Arena Trap at this point because obviously since Tornadus is flying type, it ignores Arena Trap, and so I didn't realize, but that comes into play later in the game as you'll see. But yeah, I switch out into my Amoonguss, which he then switches out to his Cofagrigus. But I'll go into my Latias, and I use Psyshock. I'm not sure why I use Psyshock because it's obviously not super effective on Cofagrigus, but I don't know. I'm crazy sometimes, guys. But yeah, then I'm just gonna go into my Absol, and he kind of does an annoying thing here. He does Trick on me, and so he gets my Scope Lens, which kind of ruins the always crit part. But I have his Choice Scarf, which that does come into play later. Here again, I made a huge mistake. Instead of staying in with my Absol and just using Superpower to finish off his Umbreon, I switch into my Scyther, and it just gets murdered by the Stealth Rocks, and the Toxic finishes it off. So I just wasted, and actually a very good sweeper in Scyther. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, then I'm just gonna go into my Aggron, tank the Toxic, and I'm just gonna he's just gonna switch out into his Cofagrigus, to which I'm just gonna go to town on him with Heavy Slam, because Mega Aggron, one of the bulkiest Pokemon. I believe it has the highest defense in the game with full EVs and IVs. But yeah, he makes kind of a huge misplay here and switches into his Fairy type. I figured since he did that, I shouldn't predict the switch out because he was just making a bad play, and so I just stayed in and finished him off with the Heavy Slam, of course. Normally, I would have switched out at that point because I would imagine that he would switch out too into his Dugtrio, but he didn't, and so thankfully that worked out. But then he does, and he keeps me in with the Arena Trap, which was a great play on his part because he can just destroy my Aggron with Earthquake. Obviously, Aggron will tank it, but not for much longer. And so yeah, that Arena Trap Dugtrio just screws Mega Aggron over. But I'm not too worried at this point because I can just go out into my Amoongus here and Giga Drain him into oblivion, which, as you'll see, pretty much happens right here. As I get the spore off, and then a Giga Drain is pretty much all I need to finish it. And at that point, it's pretty much GG because it's 4-1 at this point, and all he has is an Umbreon, while I have my Absol with superpower. Um, as you'll see, I go for the spore initially just to put him to sleep. I don't know why, but I just felt like I should do that. And I kind of wasted a turn here going for the Sludge Bomb when I should have just switched out into my Absol again. Wasn't thinking, but hey, we all make mistakes. But yeah, now I go into my Absol, and it's pretty much straightforward from here. I'm gonna get a superpower off, and it does a solid amount of damage. And this is kind of where the Choice Scarf comes into play because I pretty much outspeed him, and so next turn, no matter what, I get the winning kill. Unless he has priority, which I'm not sure which priority moves Umbreon typically has in a moveset in standard UU movesets, but yeah, at that point I knew it was game. So yeah, that's my first gameplay. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. You know, always good to feel the love from you guys. Just let me know what you thought in the comments. What can be improved, what can change. Hopefully I'll be putting out more of these from the UU tier and the OU tier in the coming weeks, and then I'll switch over to Wi-Fi battles on 3DS once I'm done breeding my team. But yeah, catch you guys later. Peace.